All right. All right. Let's verify. I think we're going to be live soon. Let me check if we're live on my fucking little app here. Do 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 do. Are we live yet? Do 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 do. Are we live yet? We're live. 3, 2,
Notifications.
1. Oh, sup, nerds? Welcome to Drumbolta. Hey, oh, hey. It's your boys, Archon, Logger, the Imperial IP agent, and the DM Primarch, Prince, whatever, of Virulence. What's up, boys? You know we're
What's
here.
up?
We're back on the live stream, and we are here to talk about the 6, not 30 like last year, just 6 new Grotmas detachments. Let's see, can I minimize this freaking bar? Let's try to make the boys a little bit bigger here. Full screen. There we go. We're big and nice and then. No, I got it. I got it good now. So we're gonna go through all the changes. As you know, there's been 6 new Grotmas attachments that have come out. Some better than others, but most of them are pretty okay. There's been one for Guard. There's one for Chaos Space Marines. One for Blood Angels, something close to the Demon Primarch of Virulence's heart. One for Eldari, specifically Harlequins focused, an Emperor's Children one, and a Space Wolves detachment as well. And then we've also just gotten today the new Balanced Dataslate and MFM updates. So I think first off, we're just going to go through here on Drunk Bolter. We're going to go through the actual Grotmas detachments and just go over everything and give our thoughts, and then we're going to put them in this tier list. We were too lazy to make our own tier list, so I just copied a template that had all the factions in it. So we've got them all down at D tier right now. Go ahead and I thought I renamed these. Go ahead and rename D to then you just click into. Can you just Let's see. No, double click like into D. There you go. Yeah. So that one's sober.
Yeah, sober.
Sober. You're not sober typing like that. Goddamn. Goddamn.
I'm not used to this little ass keyboard.
And then we got tipsy,
Right.
tipsy above it. Or is buzzed or tipsy? I think buzzed. Buzzed is one above sober.
I think I would say tipsy.
You think buzzed is more than tipsy? All right, that might be a first
For-
here on
in
Drunk
my
Bolter,
mind,
but we'll see.
and it's easier.
And your boy's drinking water today because I'm been sick for 2 fucking weeks. What are you guys on?
Got the Sweetwater 420 coming
All
in.
right, you guys. I'm gonna have to go get a whiskey. All right, go ahead. So go do sober, tipsy, buzzed. What is it? It's freaking hammered. No, drunk then hammered. Yeah, yes, drunk then hammered. Yep, hammered is top. I'm the only one that's too sober to taste this bolter. But anyway, what whiskey you got there, Imperial IP Agent?
It's some scotch. I forget which one it is actually.
I
I can
bet-
go grab the bottle later.
The best guy. Yeah. Maybe a late. If we get someone that comments in the chat that they want the bottle, we'll do a bottle reveal. How about that?
It's a 12-year scotch of some sort. I can't remember the name.
Oh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
snazzy.
You know how many malts?
Yeah.
Single malt, double malt. What does that mean? I don't know. Single malt. All right.
They just add words.
So we're gonna go ahead. We're just gonna look through these detachment by detachment. Have you guys been looking through them? I've given each of them a pretty thorough look through, and I've got some opinions on all of them. Have you guys been following this, or this is either of y'all's first time looking at these?
So
I looked at
I've
the
seen.
Space
Go ahead.
the Blood Angels one, and the Guard one. I haven't seen the other ones yet.
Okay. What about you?
And I've just CSM and Blood Angels, looking
Alright.
at the ones that are applicable. to
Well, I
me.
think you might be shocked with some of the stuff you see in this first one than Demon Primarch, because the guard one is kind of bullshit. Go ahead and go pull up Warhammer 40k and let's open the new guard detachment. It'll be in the guard faction pack, which is scroll down. It's below that. Astra Militarum. If you just go through recent, it should be at the top, towards the top of recent. Just keep on recent because it'll show all the stuff. Scroll down a little bit.
Let's see.
Just scroll down a little bit.
Got it.
Okay. All right. However you want to do it. However you want to do it. And then, all right. So this one, what's the name of it?
Adobe.
This one is like
Using-
thematically supposed to be. God damn, Adobe. You slow ass bitch,
Yeah.
Adobe.
This computer's, I don't know, 10 years old at this point.
God damn.
Like one of the first things that came out, baby.
All right. Maybe before we load the next one, I'll go get my drink.
My Wi-Fi is drunk.
All right, here we are. Now scroll down to the new detachment, the Grizzled Company. It's supposed to be thematically kind of like the Veteran Company detachment. Which, you know, in previous editions, Guard has always had kind of like this idea or like a mechanic of veteran guardsmen who are just like better than other guardsmen. And it used to be you would pay to upgrade your guardsmen to veteran, and maybe they would reroll ones to hit or something like that. But in this Grizzled Company, if it ever loads, so we might have to just have me do the screen share and not have any of our faces on screen. But here we go. So everyone, so just go ahead and read the detachment rule. Go ahead and read the detachment rule, Virulence.
Sure. So this is the detachment rule. Add 1 to the number of orders each Astra Militarum officer model from your army can issue, as stated on their data sheet. While an Astra Militarum unit from your army is affected by an order, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. That target is within range of objective markers. You can reroll wound rolls of 1 as well.
Okay.
So pretty good.
So
you
guys get more orders, right? Which primarily means that you need to have less tank commanders, and you can have more tanks, less tank commanders, which is just a point saving, right? Just giving guys more orders is a total point saving. Interestingly enough, Lord Solar Leontis goes up from 4 to 5 orders with this, or 3 to 4 orders. So there's builds viable now where you just have Lord Solar in a command nest, no tank commanders, and you end up saving a lot of points doing that because you can have like normal Ruggle Dorns and just load Lord Solar on the box, giving extra orders to those tanks. That in and of itself is just essentially a like net maybe 100+ point reduction to any guard list, right? Just being able to downgrade half your tank commanders to normal tanks because the one tank commander has 3 orders now. Besides that, guards, they're it's not really a problem because they have an order for +1 to hit, right? But their problem is that sometimes they whiff and they miss shots, right? So now they're always just rerolling 1s to hit. They're essentially always giving the order to hit on 3s, rerolling 1s all the time. What do we think about that just as a base? Do you guys think that's I mean, it's obviously good. Do you think it's at a cracked level yet, or that's just solid before we get into the rest?
I don't think it's cracked. I think it's just needed, honestly. I think
Okay.
Guard are known for their whiffing, so
All right.
puts them a little more
Let's keep
in the conversation.
Let's keep reading. And you guys let me know when you start thinking this is correct. So go ahead and Imperial IP Agent, read Add Human Detail, the first enhancement.
Of course.
Yeah,
so Commissar model only. Add the
Oh
in-game
wow,
keywords to the list.
wow! You just cut off Neil. It was Neil's turn.
Sorry.
Brutal.
Oh, I thought I was reading. Y'all go ahead.
A commissar can lead Ogrins, which is pretty cool.
He can lead Ogrins, but more importantly, he can lead Bulgrins. So Bulgrins, I think they have 4 attacks apiece at 7, 1, 2. Commissars can give only 2 orders, plus the +1 OC leadership order and the +1 weapon skill order. So you put this on a commissar who's now leading 6 Bulgrins, and they are hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s in melee. That's pretty sick. Not to mention that Bulgrins, they have a shield that makes them have 4 wounds. They're toughness 6 with 4 wounds, and 5 up feel no pain, 3 up base save. So it's a very tough melee unit now that hits actually pretty hard, which is something that Guard has not had all edition. It's kind of like a reliable melee blender unit, really. So that, I think it's fucking cool, right? Who doesn't want a commissar that leads Ogrins? We've seen that before in previous editions. It's pretty cool. I don't think you ever put them on the Ogrins that have the guns, to be honest, because that unit is still kind of mids, and you don't really want to max a 6-man unit of those. You want to max the Bulgrin unit. And a funny thing about that is that unit can fit alongside 2 3-man autocannon teams and a Stormlord super heavy Baneblade, right? And there's some plays with that because Lord Solar, now we talk about he gives the extra orders. Lord Solar is the only officer that can order the super heavies. So as we read more, there's some stratagems that I'm going to talk about in this kind of like crazy combo idea I have. But there's like a low-key viable Stormlord setup in this detachment, where previously Baneblades have not been viable at all. So let's keep reading down. Virulence, you can go ahead and read on the Aquilin Eye enhancement.
This one here.
to an officer if you're shooting within.
And now you cut virulence off. So there you go. That's revenge. That's revenge. That's revenge. All right, we'll just take turns. We'll just take turns on attachments. Let's just take turns on attachments. That'll probably be easier. So, but yeah, this one is like, so an officer, it gives him access to an order that no other officer has previously had, which is if you're shooting at something within 12 inches plus AP by 1. And notice, do you see any restrictions on that officer type? Virulence?
I do not.
I do not. So you know what that means? This is a Rogaldorn tank commander ordering himself for plus 1 AP. So that's going to be an AP3 oppressor cannon and 6 shots of AP5 meltas, an AP2 autocannon, an AP4 pulverizer cannon, and an AP1 stubber from this enhancement within 12 inches.
My only thoughts there are, though, I don't really think Garda have AP issues. Granted, I don't play them, so I don't have that full thing, but I don't know if the Rogaldor needs more AP.
But here's the
AP4, AP.
It's just wait. Okay. Just remember that there's this plus 1 AP order, right? And let's keep reading the rest of the detachment, okay? So right now, we've talked about you're rerolling 1s to hit and wound. You're hitting on 3s, right? And now we've talked about there's an order to get an extra AP. I'm just going to mention this now, but the Lehman Russ Executioner, it shoots something, the rest of your army gets AP against it. That would stack with this. There's not a limit. So potentially we can be on a Rogaldorn tank commander within 12 inches, plus 2 AP hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s to hit and wound. Let's keep reading. Spepkov's veteran. What does that say?
That one there. We have the Astra Militarum infantry officer only, though. So a little restriction.
Okay.
Each time that one selects to fight, it can order a unit that has not resolved attacks. They have stealth.
Yeah, that one's kind of shit. Oh, we got someone in the chat. What's up, homie?
Hello.
What's up, homie? The Punished Rat. Dude, honestly, yes. I'm really hype about the Grey Knight changes. I'm going to be filmed. The next battle report we film, we got an Orcs one, Death Guard Part 2 coming out this week because I've been too sick to film. But the next fucking Grey Knights one that I'm going to film is actually a Banishers one. And, it's just fucking 10 points and 15 points on goddamn Purgators and Interceptors, right? But it's honestly enough to get me, I have 2 extra squads in my Banishers list, and I feel really excited about it. So we are going to be, I'm announcing it here, the return of Grey Knights on the channel, if you're still listening. It will be happening very, very soon, within the next few weeks. And we might even get a few in the row if I like it and if I enjoy it. So stay tuned for that. And, yeah. What else we got? So that one's kind of ass, stealth on infantry. Who fucking cares, right? That one is
niche.
It's niche. I mean,
infantry with
and your guard, right? So how much is stealth going to help a guard unit that's getting shot? It's not going to help that much. So what's the next one? Go ahead and read the next one. My shit's falling apart here.
Hang on 1 second. I'm trying to see. It still allows you to do it to non-infantry though.
No, but
only give
infantry officers can only give infantry orders except for Lord Solar, and he's an epic hero. So yeah.
All right. So then this one, no restriction on which officer you're adding it to. But each time you select a unit from the officer model to issue an order, it can be within 12 instead of 6. So a little extra range there. I think that could be helpful.
And that really is only for infantry because the fucking vehicles already get 12. So you could technically put it on one as written, but it wouldn't give me anything. Now, so remember, we're rerolling 1s to hit. We're rerolling 1s to win if you're on an objective. We have a Rogaldorn tank commander that has an order for plus 1 AP. And we have the whole Commissar with the melee guys, which is kind of to the side right now, but it is really nice. Now, let's go ahead and read the strats. Go ahead and read us the first strat, Demon Primarch.
Alrighty. So first one here is Snap to It. And that is at the start of any phase. A Astra Militarum officer unit from your army. Your unit's officer model can issue 1 order as if it were your command phase. So you can throw out another order later in the turn if need be. So assuming that means you can change the order, let's say you have shoot or take aim, and then you move it over to whatever another one is. I'm not familiar with all the guard orders, but yeah, it gives you some freedom to make some changes.
Really, yeah, you could go from take aim to fixed bayonets if you're a mixed unit, which doesn't really exist too much in guard. But really, this lets you move somewhere and then do your take aim after you've already moved, right? Which is a huge benefit. I mean, if you're ever like you misplay and you're like not gonna be able to get into range and shoot, so you have to pick to get into range and not get the thing. That doesn't happen anymore. Also, you can do this in the start of your opponent's command phase to auto-see them on an objective potentially, which is something that the combined arms detachment, which is the kind of the OG guard detachment, this is almost going to replace. That there was a stratagem to do just that, to issue an order in your opponent's command phase. This is a better version of that stratagem because it's at the start of any phase. So it has that use case and also a bunch of other use cases, including at the start of your opponent's shooting phase. Maybe they sense something like Imperial IP agent. I have 10 Catachans on an objective turn 1. What are you going to send to kill out your Dark Angels list for just 10 Catachans? Like bikes or scouts, right? You bring your little bikes. You bring your little bikes to scouts unit. Say you didn't even bring them to like charge. Maybe you just brought them to just, and you're like I can just shoot these guys off with something, right? Whatever you think. I then use this stratagem to change my order to +1 my armor save. And then are they going to actually kill it? There's a lot of tactical flexibility that you get with this order here, but I think primarily it's still the auto-see your opponent in their command phase, and it's the issue in order to move, and then use the stratagem to change it to one of the offensive shooting orders. Go ahead and read and keep reading the next stratagem there, Virulence.
All right, we're going to go top down on each column first. We'll do no retreat. In your command phase only, one Astral Militarum unit from your army affected by the duty and honor order. If your unit is within range of an objective marker you control, that objective marker remains under your control even if no model is within it. So sticky on death, pretty solid.
No, it's not sticky on death. It's just sticky in your command phase if you have the duty and honor order.
Oh, it's not even on death. Yeah, just sticky.
So it just makes the caveat is you do have to order something duty and honor, which is like a +1 OC order, right? But you can change a unit's order by ordering it twice. So you can order it duty and honor, then use the stratagem, then change its order. That works in the sequencing with how orders work. Or again, you can order it this, sticky it, use the other stratagem, but you don't really have to. You can just change their order after you use the stratagem. It essentially just costs you one order to sticky any objective that you're standing on, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, pretty solid. And then next one is veteran sharpshooters. In your shooting phase, one Astral Militarum unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase. Till the end of the phase, you have the ignores cover ability. Ranged weapons only, obviously.
So what does that do?
So
what does that do?
It gives one of your units ignores cover.
One of my units. Is there any restriction on that?
I don't see that.
You don't see a restriction. So remember that Rogel Dorn that we said had AP5 meltaguns? It's ignoring cover now for a CP.
Mm-hmm. I see now.
That Rogel Dorn that had an AP3 autocannon and an AP4 oppressor cannon with D6 +3 blast shots and an AP5 or AP3 oppressor cannon, whatever. Everything's got an AP. Maybe it has 2 AP and ignore cover. In this detachment, you can reliably just not give a priority target. If they don't have invul saves, you can always make sure they don't have a save. With your ability to give a +1 AP order, your ability to, for 1 CP, ignore cover with the tank, and your ability to, with the secondary tank, add another AP, you can very quite easily, for a total cost of 1 CP and whatever that enhancement costs, get +2 AP and ignore cover on a giant tank. Including and not limited to a Baneblade. Now you can't get +2 AP because they cannot be ordered by the tank officers, and only Lord Solar can order them, but they can still get +1 AP from a Lehman Russ Exterminator and ignore cover. They can use this ignore cover stratagem. So this kind of goes into what I'm talking about with a Stormlord. So Stormlord has essentially like 50 heavy bolter shots that are sustained hits, right? It's got 50 heavy bolter shots, like one of it's like a Vulcan Mega Bolter, and then it's got a bunch of twin-linked heavy bolters. So, and the Vulcan Mega Bolter is actually strength 6. So it's, imagine just 50 heavy bolter shots at AP2, ignoring cover, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s to hit and wound, and it's also got firing deck 12, which means it's also shooting 8 shots of autocannons, now at AP2, ignoring cover out of it, damage 3, strength 9. And it's also got 4 las cannons on it and 1 shooting activation. And then inside of that Stormlord is a Commissar and 6 Bulgrin as well. and that is less than
With
500.
current
That's
only
less than
limitation I
500
have
points.
there
Yeah,
is how are you going to get that into the fight? I feel like it's too big to move on a lot of the maps now.
it is too big to move on a lot of maps. So that's kind of like that's a crack theory, right? But it's possible. It's something you can do. Really, it's gonna be the Rogodor tank commanders taking advantage of all this stuff. But yeah, so and another thing about ignore cover is what loves to ignore cover?
Tell us.
Indirect guns.
True. Yeah.
Who's got a lot of AP2 indirect? Imperial Guard, Basilisk, AP2, 1 CP, ignore cover, Earthshaker cannons or whatever their replacement is, the siege cannon, AP2. Ursula Creed next to them gets to use the stratagem on them because they're infantry or regiment for free every turn. They just shoot at AP2, ignore cover, D6 plus 3 blast gun at you, strength 8.
Yep.
Pretty nice. Who doesn't remember how good, Star of the Edition indirect fire guard was, and they nerfed indirect fire for everyone to oblivion, including the GK purgation unit squads, who they stopped letting us use our flamers indirectly and fucking increased them to like 140 points or whatever the fuck they did. We're back. What's next?
All right, you want to take it over, IP agent, on the right hand column?
Yeah, purging fire. You get lethal hits if they're within the range of an objective. So it's good. Lethal hits are good. If you're on the objective, you get lethal hits.
Yep. Lethal hits are nice. That's not. We won't really use that one. I mean, let's be honest. We're not going to use that one. We don't need that.
The other one's already better.
Yeah.
Then the Mordian Minute. If you have first ring fire, second ring fire on infantry, you get +1 strength.
Yes.
So you tell me if
our
good. If
our loyal one commenter has said that the Plague Burst mortars are out and guard mortars are in. So sorry about that, Demon Prime Market Virulence.
I have not run a Plague Burst mortar all of this edition. Once, and it whiffed so many times that I just took it out. It's too pricey. 210 for swing. No.
They've been out for a long time. So yeah, Mordian Minute. I mean, this one's another cute one, right? +1 strength for like Kazarkin is cute. You can get those melta guns up to strength 10. But again, we're really not going to be spending the CP on this in this attachment. And then we have one that's really, really quite nasty when you consider the units it's going to be used on. Go ahead, IP agent.
It's additional armor, so in your opponent's shooting phase, it's just 1 Astral Militarum unit, so pretty much anything. Gets +1 AP. Or,
nope.
+1 to their armor.
It's Armor of Contempt.
It is basically Armor of
Contempt. It is Armor of Contempt for your Rogel Dorn.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking wrecked. So in totality, it could be armor of contempt on a Baneblade also, which is strength 14, but we're not gonna, or toughness 13. We're not gonna get into that. We know Baneblades aren't real, but what is real in this attachment? Go ahead.
I was gonna ask though, if this stratagem exists, then do you even need to bring the tech guy, the tech priest, to give the invul to the dwarf?
You do not.
You do not. You do. You can save some points.
You do not. You can save some points, and you can double stack smoke and this, and you get effective AP2 if they're not ignoring cover. You could be -1 to hit. Yeah, your Rogel Dorns in this attachment can be -1 to hit with effective -2 to your AP on defense, not to mention their damage blank, because you don't have to take as many commanders, so you can actually take the normal ones, which all have a damage blank they get to use defensively, and then offensively they can all have +2 AP ignore cover.
Yeah, guards are back.
Guards are back for reals, and with that, let's go ahead and go to the ranking table. Where do we think this is going to be on our tier list? Imperial IP agent, you can have the first stab. What would you put this?
I'd say it's drunk.
Do you think only drunk? Okay, my vote is hammered, and I think this is going to destroy the meta and have a 65 to 70% win rate when it first comes out. I think it solves all of Guard's primary problems, the order economy, the frickin', it's everything. I mean, they have Armor of Contempt on tanks, and they have ignore cover on their indirect, and they have +1 order across the board, and they're rerolling ones to hit and wound. I think it's the best guard detachment that has been released, all the edition, including when they released Bridgehead Strike, and that was like a 60+% win rate. They had to nerf it really quick. I think this is better than that. I think it's hammered. Demon Primal Virulence, what's your vote? And we'll take the average.
My thoughts are this. I'm going to put it at drunk, but I think at the end, once I've seen the other detachments, we readjust this because I don't know how it's going to stack up to some of the others. From what I've seen with the others, I think it's going to be the best one, but I don't want to speak before I've seen Eldari, Emperor's Children, and Space Wolves.
All right, and with that, we'll move on down the line to the second one near and dear to your heart, Demon Primal Virulence, a list that you beat me with recently in a TTS game. Chaos Space Marines and their new Night Lords detachment.
Yes. Now, if anyone needs to go grab a beverage, go get a refill, we will have
Yeah,
this.
I'll go. Oh, never mind. That was quick. No time for liquor there. Damn. Oh, shit. Bro, my whole thing is like collapsing. My fucking studio equipment. Trash, boys. Trash. But yeah, so the Punish Rat said, the game is slowly making my Deathwing Knights suffer. Do you think your Deathwing Knights can hold up to that Guard Onslaught Imperial IP agent?
No.
I don't think so either. But you know what, the Punish Rat? They can't suffer possibly as much as Grey Knight Paladins, and more importantly, the Grey Knight Brotherhood Terminators, who get +1 AP into infantry only as their little rule. And with that, what's this? What you said?
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it was not streamed, but myself and Archon here have also ran a quick TTS running the new Nightmare Hunt list, which is pretty much the assumption here is they're going for new Night Lords here. So I'll read through the detachment rule for you really quickly here. Some kind of niche things in here, but pretty much in the battle shock step of your opponent's chart command phase, if an enemy unit is below starting strength and within 12 of one of your models, that unit must take a battle shock test subtracting 1. So -1 battle shocks within 12. And it does not take any other battle shocks, so that just forces that there. And if they do have that, so let's say each time a certain party's model from your army makes an attack that targets that unit that is below half strength, add 1 to the hit roll. So it doesn't even have to be battle shock, just adds 1 to the hit roll if they're below half strength. And then the one that actually matters here that with the battle shocks is each time one of your units targets one from your opponent's army, the attacking model is battle shock, subtract 1 from their hit roll. So you are -1 to hit if they're battle shocked. And last but not least, each time a model from your army makes an attack that targets the battle shock unit, add 1 to the wound roll. Yep. So my thoughts here, it's pretty kind of, you have to force these battle shocks, so force as many as you can. But that TTS we ran, it's a lot harder than you think. I was running into Drukhari, they can kind of scoot around pretty quickly, stay out of range if they need to be. And what I also ran into, Drukhari and I think other armies, once they're at half strength, do you really need help killing them? They're already wounded. They're already hurt. They don't have
specifically Drukhari, they're usually not at half strength because you've usually already killed them in one activation with any unit in the game, right? There's not a lot of durability there. So the synopsis of this word jumble that we just read, right, is that it's the good version of a battle shock detachment rule where if you're close to me and you're below full strength, you always have to take a battle shock test at -1 in your command phase, right? Then, on top of that, you're getting buffs against units that are weaker battle shocked. You're getting +1 to wound against battle shock units. Battle shocked units that are trying to attack you are -1 to hit you, and you get +1 to hit units that are below half strength. Now, this would be really, really good into like armies that have big centerpiece units that once they get down to below half strength, there's still a good bit to go, like Knights, Chaos Knights, big demons, although you don't really want to be forcing battle shocks on big demons because then they could heal, but -1 is still -1. Stuff like that. But that's not really where the meta is right now. The meta is kind of more back to an MSU elite infantry kind of style of meta, largely since the Knights Codex nerf into the ground. And like you said, there's army types like Horde armies don't care about this because you've already killed them. Space Marine armies, the leader, if you can find a way to make them spam those leaderships, which there is a few ways in here to do multiple in-phase leadership tests at -1, then that those 6-up leadership armies can start to feel the pressure a little bit more. But a lot of those 7-up leadership armies are already kind of like, well, if you see me and attack me, I'm dead no matter what. So it's not. It's kind of like I don't know. It is better than just take a battle shock test because it's making you do it even if you normally wouldn't do it, and it's making you do it at a base modifier of -1 that you can add more onto. But it is at the end of the day just a battle shock detachment, I think. Imperial IP agent, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, like, obviously getting it buffs and making things battle shocked is it's better than we thought it would have been. Like, facing your Drakari, all the battle shock techs like that can really swing things. But we'll have to see how the rest of the detachment shakes out. But it's thematic, it's cool. It's like Night Lords and making all these
It's
things
better.
scary.
It's better than the original Night Lords detachment because the original Night Lords detachment was just
Yeah,
if you're within 12, just take a normal battle shock test. So it's just it's -1 now, and you get offensive benefits as a part of the detachment roll instead of just in the stratagems.
yeah. I think it's pretty thematic. They're fighting people that are scared and weak, making them stronger. So
Yep.
I like that part of it.
All right, let's keep reading the
Well, just going
enhancements.
through the enhancements really quickly. The Grey Veil Hex. This one here allows you to give stealth to a unit you have a Chaos Lord attached to, and it is models within 18. So it's baby stealth.
Baby loan
Or
up.
baby
It's
loan
so
up.
they get stealth
Yeah.
period, and they also get loan up 18 on an objective. Yeah. I mean, in our game, this didn't matter. There's a lot of stuff that's fast. Loan up 18's okay, but do you really want it on a Chaos Lord and 5 Legionaries? I don't know. I don't think this is that good of an enhancement. It's like a take it if you
One of
have
those
the
things,
points
you're
left
putting
over.
that on your expansion objective, and the opponent already has a game plan for taking you off of it. So very rarely do you get sniped across the board for your expansion objective.
Yeah,
You're usually coverable
they're running
when it
at
comes
you.
into you.
Yeah, they're running at you anyway.
Yeah.
So where are you gonna like? And a Chaos Lord isn't like an uppy downy guy, that can go do actions and benefit from this. So it's like if I forget how much it is. We'll look at it when we pull up the MFM. But if it's like 10 points, maybe you take it if you have 10 points left over. Nothing to do with it.
One of those throw in there. Now the next one is the warp fuel thrusters. I think it has a viable place here. Pretty much what it is it allows you to give your raptors the same innate ability that is on your warp talon. So if they kill a unit, oh actually yeah, if they are just
No,
not
they,
within
they just have they
engagement,
just
so
have normal uppy downy. Yeah, they just get normal uppy downy on Raptors
be
with
down
this.
the
Yep. And this is one that was in the OG Night Lords attachment too. It is good. It's a good enhancement to have. Raptors aren't the best unit, right? Like they have some melta-guns, but they're not really a shooting unit. Um, they're kind of like a melee unit, but you have to take the melta-guns because they only have one power fist. But in this attachment, it's all about the wing boys, and I think a little 5-man Raptors with the Chaos Lord here that can uppy downy and just do some stuff across the map is viable. Also, Raptors do make you battle shock, I think, in the fight phase if they're touching you, right? At a -1.
I
So,
think it's within 6 inches, but we all know if it's within 6 inches, you're in combat.
the good thing about that is that maybe if there's like a big like series of combats happening next to each other, they would be within range of multiple combats, right? So that could be potentially be good, and it is -1 there. So I don't know, like it lets you uppy downy these Raptors turn 1 and then rapid ingress them whenever, which is probably the play that you use with it, and maybe you do need a 10 because the Raptors. If they're just doing this to do actions, that's okay, but they're a little bit expensive for an action unit. So maybe you either use it on just a solo Chaos Lord as an action guy, or on the big 10-man to uppy downy turn 1 and rapid ingress, and that kind of act as a second big brick of warp talons, which you're also going to be taking in this when we get to, I think, the last enhancement. But let's go ahead and do the second to last, the Terror Glut Parasite.
Yeah, so for this one here, at the start of the fight phase, each enemy unit within engagement range of the bearer must take a battle shock, subtracting 1. So
That's good.
it's pretty much another one of the ways to force the battle shock. So it's kind of almost an auto include, but it's one of those things you need a unit that's going to be hanging around for a while. So you need a pretty tough unit that can stay in there and stay
Maybe
close
on
to people,
some termies if you find like a viable like termy build in this, and we'll see if the termies work with any of the strats. I forget what the stratagems are. But also, this could actually be kind of cool on a jump lord itself with Raptors, because then you have to take 2 battle shock tests from 1 unit at the start of the fight phase at -1, and when you start stacking them like that, then you're really starting to like increase the probability that they fail. When you make them take 2 back-to-back battle shock tests at -1, even if you're looking for a 7, right? The odds that you roll less than a 7 at least once on 2 attempts are probably pretty good.
Yep. It's definitely viable. You got to kind of get into your opponent's backline for that. And I like this one more than the force of battle shock when they're below starting strength. Ran into that in the TTS game when I got into the backlines of the Drukhari with my Warp Talons or my Raptors unit. They were able to hurt 2 units, but the rest of the army obviously is not below starting strength, so they didn't have to take a battle shock. So it's kind of staring down the barrel of the enemy's weapons there, and they didn't get to use that. So if they had had this enhancement, I think it would have changed how that played out in the deployment zone there. So I think it
Yep,
definitely has a spot in this.
absolutely. Imperial IP agent, any thoughts on that enhancement?
I mean, it's fine.
You're not impressed by the battle shock stuff. And then we got one that's really cool that you probably will be impressed by, Imperial IP agent. So take it away, Beerlands.
Of course, this is an auto include in my book here, and it allows you to attach a Chaos Orb with Junk Pack, 2 Warp Talons, and gives them a 6-inch Scout move,
Yep.
which you weren't able to attach the Jump Board there. So having that ability on Warp Talons plus the 6-inch Scout ability is phenomenal. So you can rapid ingress for free if you want to.
Every
And
turn.
so this is how I play it out here. Let me rephrase that. So turn 1, you scout 6, you take out their expansion objective. They have some scouts sitting on there, whatever it may be. Use your innate ability to pick up your Warp Talons, rapid ingress them in the next turn in turn 2. So I really think
And
it has
what
a viable spot, and you can keep doing that.
it is in my opinion the entire identity of the detachment is this one unit, which is a jump lord with the Sorrow Sanct Vulture enhancement attached to a 10 brick of Warp Talons. So what this lets you do is deploy your Warp Talons right on the line. You're going first, scout forward, great. You're going second, scout backwards, go back to safety. Those Warp Talons move 12 inches, so you've effectively, if you get first turn, which you want in this attachment, you've now moved 18 inches. We'll get to it, there's an advance and charge strategy in this attachment. So you now advance and charge for an average of 6 plus 12 plus 3.5, 4. Let's give you 3. So that's 21 inches of movement turn 1 for a 10 brick of Warp Talons that can charge and kill any single unit as long as you deploy them carefully. If your opponent's got fights first, definitely don't go for anything around those for a heroic intervention turn 1. But you can always pretty much, and they're jump infantry, so they can just go through walls and fly, right? You can take out one unit reliably. Maybe your opponent can finagle it so it's not a great unit, but you can always, if you go first, delete one unit, use the Warp Talon ability, which lets them, after they fight, go into the sky as long as they're not engaged, and then you get to rapid ingress for free.
That's the only. You have to kill a unit.
You have to kill, but you're going to kill the unit. You have 40 Twin Linked attached with Lightning Claws plus the Lord's Power Fist. You're going to kill whatever unit you pick. Don't fucking do it on a Rogodorn, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But you do it on any unit because you're just removing a unit for free, essentially, for 1 CP. Or the free CP, and then the Lord has the rights of battle, essentially. You get a free strat per battle round. So you can either do that advance and charge for free, or when they go in the sky, you just keep cycling this every turn, and then every rapid ingress you do will be for free from the Chaos Lord that's attached to it. So it's really quite a phenomenal centerpiece unit for this attachment, and it's really the main appeal of playing this attachment at all, in my opinion.
Now, the one takeaway is, though, the 10-man Warp Talons with the Chaos Sword is over 300 points. So that is a big chunk of your army that, when looked at and shot at, they do get deleted pretty easily. So you gotta play to their strengths very strong.
The good news is that they just do this, right? They attack something that they're gonna kill, like Night Lords. They need to prey on the weak, go into the sky. You're deleting one unit per turn as long as you play it right. Don't let them get overwatched by something good. Don't let them get heroic intervention by a fight's first unit. And there's not much your opponent can do about it. They can build traps, but you're always going to be able to rapid ingress to a unit they're not prepared for and kill something. You're just deleting one unit per turn guaranteed as long as you play it smart. And their offensive output is no fucking joke. It's 40 attacks at what, 5-1-1 or 5-2-1?
Yeah, I can check right now while we.
I think it's Twin Linked Lightning Claws. I think it's 40 attacks at 5-2-1 Twin Linked.
Yeah, it's definitely 1 damage. I just can't remember the AP.
Yeah, and then the Lord has a Demon Hammer or a Power Fist, I believe. And I'll go ahead, while you're looking that up, I'll go ahead and read the first stratagem here. Talons Sunk Deep. It's a 1 CP strat in your shooting or fight phase. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets a unit that is battle shocked, improve the AP by 1. So +1 AP against a battle shock unit. Again, You do have to battle shock these guys, but like we said, you can make them take multiple -1 battle shocks. Maybe they take it in their command phase, and you get in there with a Raptor Lord that has that enhancement, and he makes them take 2 by himself. So by the time they've taken 3 -1 battle shocks, hopefully you get to use a Raptor Lord's free CP to add +1 AP maybe to these Warp Talons. And what's their base AP?
Base AP is 2, so you can take it
Yeah.
up to 3.
You take it up to 3 if you're attacking a battle shocked unit only. And go ahead and take it away on the next stratagem, Imperial IP Agent.
Got Prey on the Weak. So it's in your shooting or fight phase, 1 infantry unit. Let's see, they can, if they target a unit that's battle shock or below, have strength, and/or you can reroll the hit roll. Okay.
And the Punished Rat just said that this Warp Talent thing is Shadow of Anarch on roids. And I'd like to point out it is way better than Shadow of Anarch, which is Mist of Deimos. And also, this came up. I just played another guy that was actually just doing a 10 Warp Talons in Renegade Raiders in the Empire Virulence. And something that came up is that because Warp Talons uppy downy in your turn, you control sequencing, so they can complete a secondary and still uppy downy. Whereas for like Grey Knights and normal uppy downy, it's in your opponent's turn. You can't like get secure no man's land and uppy downy because they say you can't do it. It's their turn. But here you can charge onto an objective, storm a hostile objective, be like, I control sequencing. The uppy downy happens at the same time this secondary scores. I score the secondary, then they're gone. So you can use them to get behind enemy lines and disappear. It's fucking amazing. It's such a good unit. But we keep talking about it. Let's keep on with the stratagems.
Of course. Want to keep going, IP Agent?
Yeah, we got Sadistic Display. So it's in the fight phase, just after you destroy a unit. Each unit within 6, excluding monster vehicle, have to do a battle shock. So, forcing a battle shock test for a CP.
Yeah, it's not. Is this one -1 or is it just a natty battle shock?
It's just a natty. I like
Yeah.
it thematically. It's like we killed something, we're scary, but otherwise, I think
Yeah.
it's just one of those. You got to finish as many battle shocks as you can. If you got
It sucks. Yeah, if you have the CP and you really like want this unit not to be able to interrupt, you might as well try to hit him in the command phase, try to hit him here in shooting phase, and then try to hit him again in the charge phase. It sucks that it's not -1. And spinning a CP for a past battle shock test is never good. Are there?
It's rough. It's
We were looking through Chaos Space Marines Codex, and we could not find a single unit that forces you to take a battle shock after they hit you in shooting, which I think is like crazy. But if you guys know of one, let us know in the comments because we didn't see any. We saw Noise Marines like do a -1 leadership to you, so maybe you can shoot something with Noise Marines and then use this stratagem on them, right? But that's like, and then fucking. Is there? And I don't think is there. Do like Demon Princes have an aura of -1 leadership or something or no?
maybe the winged one, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
Definitely does not.
You know who might is like Rodigus or something, or allying demons with Rodigus or something. But
The issue is this. I don't. Yeah, it's just that's a point sink for.
yeah, it's a point sink. It's a big point sink. Yeah. All right, let's keep reading.
see.
What else we got?
Go ahead.
Melissa's Surge is Advance in Charge.
That's good.
Good.
We need that. Bands in charge is good.
Always good.
Always like to see that as a stratagem.
Got Relentless Terror. You can fall back, shoot and charge. Ooh, also good.
Fallback shoot in charge,
Yeah.
also good. Yeah.
What I hate is I've seen recently with GW is they split it up into 2 different freaking stratagems where I'm like, all right, cool. So you took up 2 of our 5 here for those 2 instead of I've seen other armies where they have fallback, shoot in charge, or advance in charge.
Yeah, but
why can't it be one?
But
it's taking up 2
that's,
spots.
in my opinion, that's a benefit because you can do both instead of just doing it on one unit. You can advance and charge this unit and fall back and charge the other unit.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I feel like with the fallback shoot and charge, I feel like you might use it on your Raptors. There's very few units I see in this list
Surviving, yeah.
Jump packs.
As far as units surviving, I kind of almost like, you have that giant warp talent unit that costs so many points. I don't know that you have enough points left over for a Chaos Terminator Lord and 5 Terminators with that -1 battle shock test enhancement. But I almost like maybe attempting to use fallback and charge on a Terminator brick and advance and charge on Warp Talons. Or you can use the fallback and charge on Obliterators. They're kind of sturdy.
Yeah.
Is it fallback?
Obliterators will hang in
Is
there.
it fallback shoot and charge? Or is fallback and charge?
All about shooting charge.
So yeah, obliterators, or a tank. If you bring fire support, which you're gonna need to, you can fall back a tank to let it shoot. Yeah.
And shout out Obliterators, still staying as infantry, so we always like that, even though they move 4 inches.
Yep. Well, they could move. They could advance. Try to advance the charge in this attachment more than double their movement.
Yeah.
So all in all, it's a battle shock attachment. There's one really cool unit, and then you have a lot of stratagems of various effectiveness that require your opponent to be battle shocked or try to make your opponent battle shocked. And then you have advance and charge and fall back and charge.
Lastly, we have horrific incursion. Have we not covered that one? Or did I miss that while I was checking?
Nope. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Come in from reserves. If you can see something within 12 inches, you make them take a battle shock -1.
Another. At least this one's -1. And then let's go ahead and go over to the ranked list. Obviously, and like I said, Doom Private Virulence, we had a semi-close game. I just played a guy that was playing Renegade Raiders and just had 10 Warp Talons, no Chaos Lord is his main thing, and he beat the shit out of me like 70-20. So I just think the Renegade Raiders is still better. You get advanced fall back and charge in that detachment, and it's like half of it is just part of the detachment rule. And this is just a worse version of Renegade Raiders with a cooler brick of Warp Talons. I would say it's just tipsy. I think it's just tipsy.
Yep. I was going to say that as well. Mm-hmm. What about you, IP Agent?
Yeah, just tipsy. I like the theme of it, though. It's cool.
And we will be playing... Good.
Not going to be played on the table very much. I think it's too much contingent on people failing 5 ups and 6 ups on 2 dice, which,
it's very...
Battle Shock, they promised us at the beginning of 10th edition, Battle Shock's the new thing. Battle Shock's going to matter. It doesn't matter squat.
Yep.
Very rarely comes into play. And worst case scenario, if they start having Battle Shocks, there's going to be a point score. They have a once a game...
Insane bravery. So we kind of glossed over that, but the battle shocks from this detachment rule do happen in your opponent's like battle shock step of their command phase. So the one time that he would have like made me in our game that we played on TTS, I had Reavers that had stolen his expansion objective but were below full strength that he could have tried to battle shock, but it's in my battle shocks test, so I just spent insane bravery on it. I didn't have to roll the 8. So it's not like the Tyranids thing where it's outside your battle shock step, so you can't insane bravery it. You still get to insane bravery it once per game, not from the stratagem checks or the raptor checks, but for the command phase checks, which is another downside to it. Yeah, for sure.
That it is. All right. Moving along, unless there's any other comments on that, we'll move over to...
one more comment. So we will be playing a game. We have at least one battle port coming out for it, but the return of Grey Knights will be Banishers Grey Knights, I believe, against this Night Lord's detachment. Unless I get a game in with Imperial IP Agent first, and then we'll do that. But I think we're gonna do Grey Knights against the new Night Lord's detachment on the channel, but sometime in the next couple of months for you guys.
Alrighty. Moving right along to the old Blood Angels, my first army ever, which I don't think we're going to stray from Angelic Inheritors, but let's see what they have cooking for us. Alrighty.
The Rage Cursed Onslaught. Good name. You guys go ahead and read. I'm gonna go get a drink. This is Drunk Bolter. I need to live up to it.
IP Agent, you want to read the detachment? I'll start on the enhancements.
Yeah. So every time you have a starter's model, you make a melee attack. You reroll a wound roll of 1. You can make a charge move until the end of the phase. Add 1 of the attacks, melee weapons. If you are battle shocked, add 2 to the attacks. So just got a little battle shock in there, but still pretty solid. Rerolling ones to wound, and +1 attacks is always good. So it's a good buff there. I like it.
Exactly. So kind of some background. This is pretty much their remodel, their redesign of the Death Company detachment. So jump into it here. The usual restriction has to be Blood Angels. Can't include any other chapters, which is pretty usual when you see on these Space Marine ones. But starting with the first enhancement here by the Carmine Reliquary. and that is a chaplain model only. Models in the bearer's unit have a Scout 6 ability. Each time you take a battle shock test for that unit or a unit within 6, you can re-roll the result. So pretty much you can put it on a chaplain. It says chaplain model only, so might have to come up in the FAQs. There are chaplains with jump packs. It doesn't really specify
Hey,
here. We'll wait till
and
Archon
I
gets ready.
just want
Archon,
to. I'm back, and I'm drinking Angels MV. Cheers, boys. And I just want to
cheers, cheers.
say it's hilarious that on day 2 of Grotmas, they dropped the Night Lord's Detachment about battle shocking your opponent, and on day of 3 Grotmas, they dropped a Blood Angels attachment where everyone gets +1 attacks when they're battle shocked, and that is hilarious. Cheers.
So if anyone
Cheers.
wants to run my CSM into the Blood Angels with this detachment, let's see it. Or vice versa. But also, question for Archon here. You're the rules expert in the crew. I notice it here now that we're going through it. Chaplain models only for the first enhancement, Carmine Reliquary. It doesn't say chaplain with jump pack, so can it only be chaplain on foot?
No, the chaplain keywords. That's what I was saying. I was saying like this would be really funny on a chaplain on bike with 6 outriders. So any chaplain that has the chaplain keyword, it's all the chaplains. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so pretty much it gives them a 6-inch scout, and anything within 6 can reroll the result on battle shock tests. So kind of a counter to that Night Lords list we just saw there. And then I'll read the next one, and then I'll pass it along to someone else to read the last 2 enhancements. But the next one is Master of the Red Thirst, and it's one of your models. Once per battle at the start of the fight phase, the bearer can use this enhancement. If it does until the end of the phase, models and bearers have the fight first ability. So you hand out
Yep.
a
Once
fight
per game's
first, you might
fights
as well just
first.
keep
We
it.
have that. We have that in Angelic Characters. It's an auto take. It's gonna be an auto take here as well. It's Blood Angels. Fucking fights first is great on melee armies. You want to take it.
Exactly. Who wants to take the next 2?
I'll take Sanguinary Tear. It's an aura within 6 inches of an Adepti's Astartes model only. While friendly Death Company is within 6 inches of it, add 1 to the strength characteristics of weapons by models in this unit. Now that is fine. I think there's might be a way to modify that strength more in the stratagems, but +1 doesn't quite hit like breakpoints for you guys because you're at strength 8 on the Power Fist, right? Strength 8 to strength 9 isn't a big breakpoint. I don't know of a single unit that's toughness 8. Do you? Anybody know of a toughness 8 unit? Nope. And then strength 4 to strength 5 on the chain swords, that's a breakpoint, right? But it's a breakpoint into toughness 4 units. I think you're kind of dealing with those with the Power Fist anyways. And what's an Eviscerator? Strength 6?
Investigators, I think, are strength 7. So
Strength 7? So yeah, they're already strength 7.
Okay.
So you're already winning all the toughness 6 stuff on 3s. Congratulations. You can wound a Kronos on 3s with an Eviscerator if you take. You know what I'm saying? Like, who fucking cares? Yeah.
I will say this too: if this detachment came out in 9th before they reworked the Death Company with jump packs, I would have loved it because you're running all plasma pistols and power fists. Now we have to, mix and mingle everything in that unit. So
You still wouldn't have loved it. You still wouldn't have loved it because strength 8 to strength 9 does absolutely nothing. Armigers are toughness 9, so I guess you would wound Armigers on 4s, but that's like the only thing.
Well, I will take this back though. This one here though does not say by phase, so it does give you extra strength. So you get strength 5 bolters with 0 HP.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
Extra strength on those bolters.
Extra strength
on
the plasma pistols.
Something to consider.
I don't know. Maybe
I still don't
it's
think
okay. You don't take
think
it. You don't take
Death
it.
Company on foot will ever be viable, but they have those models in the range, so there's
They
that.
haven't sent him to Legend. They sent Caldor Drago to Legends and kept Death Company on foot alive for another edition. Cheers, boys. What's the next one? Someone else read that.
It's a GTA feature
The
there.
Angel's
Yeah, that
Fang now.
The Angel's Fang. Yeah, read that.
Yeah, so it's telling me make a melee attack that targets a character, monster, vehicle. You get sustained hits too. So
It's okay.
I mean,
It's only on the character. On the Oath target, it's nice, right? You can reroll. You're hitting on 2s already, rerolling for sustained hits too. But it is only for that character. It's not for his unit. So it's kind of if it's 10 points and you have 10 points, 1. If it's 10 and you got 10.
Would you put it on
Yeah.
virulence, like a chaplain or something?
The only place I think I would ever play that, put it on a Death Company or a Blood Angels captain that has his also once a game ability where he just pops off. I think
Mhm,
that
true.
if you're trying to take out a vehicle, But even there, like the units you attach the captain to, I just don't know if it's gonna matter. I don't run Terminator captain,
It's not
so
as
yeah,
good.
it's just it should
It's
fit
not
in.
it's not as good as that one enhancement with Liberator Soul Group that he can have either. So it's just like kind of like a little bit of a worse version of that. I don't think that this kind of moves that unit, the needle on that unit, like that Liberator Soul Group enhancement does. I don't think you take it really.
Yep. All right, moving right along to the stratagems. We have a grim warning. In any phase, one of your units from your army that was just destroyed while it was within range of one or more objectives you controlled, they sticky that. Pretty much, we're getting
So
the. Go ahead.
I'll just say this. So you're getting the World Eaters sticky on death, but I watched Art of War's video. Did you watch Art of War's video on this where they called out a caveat here? Or
I
no?
did not see the cabinet. No, I was
Blood
kind of watching it
Blood
today.
Angels unit. Any unit
Right.
from the primary Codex Space Marines does not have the Blood Angels keyword.
Fair.
So you cannot do it on scouts, on infiltrators, on the combi lieutenant. You can do it on Mephiston, who's a lone op, so that's good. But any of these cheap little throwaway units you would want to do it on, you cannot use the stratagem on, which fucking blows. And I feel like it has to be a typo, but you look below, Armor Contempt, one Adept is a starter unit. It's a clear distinction that some of these apply to Adept is a starter unit, and this one specifically only applies to Blood Angels units.
Yeah.
That's brutal. So what?
I don't see that keyword over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
So what? When I was surprised because I thought there was like a little blurb that's like if you run a non-codex compliant attachment, everything in it gains the keyword, but that's not what it says. It says that you cannot run any keywords besides David Staries and Blood Angels. So it does not give them the Blood Angels keyword to run one of these attachments for sure. It does have this stratagem still good on a few things. It's good on Mephiston because if you stay outside of 12, if Mephiston's standing on an objective and you do not stand on that objective, you just try to shoot Mephiston, he's gonna sticky it on death. And if you charge Mephiston, he fights first. It's good on that big brick that you have the once per game fights first on as well. Or maybe you put the once per game fight first on an MSU unit so that they can use this and be like, you don't want to charge me. I'm staying on the edge of the objective. You have to shoot me off, and then I'm going to sticky it and guarantee primary. So maybe this is more of an MSU detachment than a big brick detachment because of this kind of like play that you have to do with fights first units, move blocking so that they can't stand on it without engaging you, and then sticking on death. I don't know, but there is some play. But obviously, like the clear thing you would want to do is like I infiltrate scouts onto this objective. You shoot me, I sticky it. It's turn 2, I score primary. You can't do that.
Yeah. Very, very good point out. And then obviously, I don't know if you guys need us to read this one.
It's armor contempt. There you go. Every detachment's got to have it.
Right.
Every Space Marine detachment has to have armor contempt. Someone's decided that it's a deal breaker. They have to have it. Would you as you two are Space Marine players, would you be okay with having an attachment that didn't have armor contempt?
I feel like that'd be a resounding no. I feel like it comes up enough. And maybe it's just we've accepted it as facts. I think that might be the issue.
I don't think you need it. I think you guys could figure out a way to get to not use armor contempt in every single fucking detachment, and it might be better because who knows what the other you were saying you were like mad that the Night Lord's attachment had a separate fallback in charge and advance in charge thing. Armor contempt is taking up a stratagem slot in every single detachment that you have available to you.
It's just the GK player that says on 2s on everything.
Well, I lost my armor contempt after my codex came out, so I want everyone to suffer. All right, so let's keep reading.
All right, I'll do the next one and we'll pass it along here. So, how do you pronounce this? Insensate Rampage?
Yeah.
Insensate Rampage. All right, they like making up words here, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not an English major. I'm a finance major. But your opponent's shooting phase or their fight phase, just after an unit is selected as targets, one death coming from unit, we can increase their feeling of pain from a 6 to a 5 up. I think if you need them to survive, it's a long shot, but it's good to have in there just for situational needs.
Yeah. It's okay.
Feeling of pain versus 6,
it's not that big. It's not that big of a difference, especially with the damage to attacks. I think that the fights first is better, and I think you also have a fight on death. It'd be better just to fight on death at that point, but we'll get to that in a sec. Let's keep reading.
Who wants to take over for the next column? I'm gonna grab a brewski.
So it's in the fight phase. One unit made a charge move. Select either the strength or armor penetration characteristics of melee weapons equipped. Until the end of the phase, add 1 to those. You can instead choose for your unit to give into the red thirst. If it does, it becomes battle shocked, but the effects of this stratagem still apply to it. And until the end of the phase, add 1 to the strength and AP of melee weapons equipped by models in your unit.
Yep. So this is the first, unless I don't think we already read the advance and charge one. This is the first, or did we already? Yeah, did we already read the advance and charge one, where you can battle shot yourself in advanced shooting charge? Okay, so this one is the first of 2 stratagems that can force yourself to be battle shocked, which is good because being battle shocked in this attachment gets you +1 attack, right? So this is for +2 attacks. So you can just not give into the red thirst and just get +1 strength, +1 AP if you don't want to be battle shocked. And there's reasons not to be battle shocked that I'll talk about in a sec. Or you can give in and just go full Super Saiyan, and for 1 CP, or perhaps free if you use a captain's free CP thing, right? Give yourself +2 attacks, +1 strength, and +1 AP for your entire unit. And that's pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the strength one, right? So if you have this strength and you have the enhancement for the +1 strength, that stacks, and that unit then has strength 10 power fists at AP 3 with 5 attacks apiece, I think, or 6 attacks apiece. 5 or 6 attacks apiece. Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
That's pretty nasty. So this is kind of like the best stratagem here, but let's keep reading. Deathless Duty, it's a 2 CP automatic fight on death for Death Company only. Very useful. This detachment is a little bit CP hungry. There is a Death Company jump captain, right? Or can jump captains join the Death Company?
Yes, I believe so.
So you might want to be running some jump captains.
Jump captain, but you can put one on there.
Yeah, I think you might need to be running some more jump captains than chaplains in this list, just because it is like there's a lot of strats you want to use. You want to use a 2 CP strat fight on death. You want to use a 1 CP Super Saiyan. You want to use a 1 CP sticky on death on some guys, that kind of stuff. But here's the caveat, right? And this applies to both this fight on death. Good.
Only chaplains.
Only chaplains? So never mind. So it's going to be hard to decrease the stratagem cost of all this. You don't have a extra CP guy in Blood Angels, right?
Nope, not to my knowledge. Someone correct me, but I'm pretty sure no.
So it is a little CP hungry because there's a lot of good strategies you want to use. It's a good problem to have, I guess. But if you battle shock yourself by giving yourself the Super Saiyan, you are then battle shocked in your opponent's turn, and you cannot use fight on death. So you charge in, you do a big nuke, and then you can't do anything. Or you charge in, you hope that a smaller nuke can do what you need to do, and then you're still not battle shocked and you fight on death. So you don't always want to give in to the red thirst. You really have to build a tactical strategy around when to give into the red thirst and when not to, because there's got to be stratagems that you want to use defensively in your opponent's upcoming turn that you will not be unbattle shocked for if you battle shock yourself to give yourself the +2 strength, or the +1 strength, +2 attacks, +1 AP. And that's honestly another use case for this being more of an MSU detachment, because if you throw the giant brick with the huge buff, like you kill a fucking knight, right? But then you're battle shocked, you can't use any defensive strats, and it just dies for nothing. If you have these little throwaway units that you can like skirmish into some bullshit, oh, I don't need to battle shock them here, but guess what? You're a melee army, they're going to fight on death into you, just steal a little bit. You know, that might be a better way to play this attachment. I don't know. We'll have to get this on the channel at some point as well, Virulence, and see how you feel about it after we get some reps. And we do not have any reps in this yet. If anyone has reps out there and it's a Blood Angels player, let us know.
Yep. And then lastly is the one we've all been talking about, Red Wrath. That one here is the one that allows an army or unit from your army that just advanced. And until the end of the turn, it is able to shoot or declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. You can instead choose for that unit to give into the red thirst. If it does, it becomes battle shocked, but the effects of the stratagem still apply to it. I always love to put that caveat in there because otherwise that'd screw us. And then until the end of the turn, your unit is able to shoot and declare a charge.
So I don't even know when you would do that. Like what Blood Angels unit wants to shoot and charge that bad, right? Like none of them.
Yeah.
So you can either advance and shoot a tank or advance and charge one of the boys. Also, if you battle shock this, you can't reroll your charge roll, so that's fucked.
True.
Well,
So yeah, definitely an interesting detachment here. I think it's leaning towards that Death Company side of things. So I like that. There's plenty of people out there that love Blood Angels. They have a lot of Death Company models, and there hasn't been a solid unit for it. I think this will be giving him that opportunity. Do I think it's going to be top tier compared to Angelic Inheritors? I don't think so, but I like the direction.
Imperial IP Agent, what are your thoughts of this before we go rank it?
I agree with Virulence. Death Company is cool. Red Thirst, Black Rage, pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
cool.
definitely cool, and it's definitely it's definitely not the worst Blade Angels detachment. It could, it's competing with Lag for second best. It might be even a little bit worse than Lag. I'm not sure about that one, but it's definitely not as good as Angelic Inheritors. Something that is funny is that a Death Company Dreadnought, which is basically a Brutalis Dreadnought with a Blood Surge, does have that Death Company keyword, so it would be able to benefit from these stratagems, including the Fight on Death, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
And with that, I think
pretty wild.
I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's better than the Night Lords one. Honestly, I mean, it probably is better than the Night Lords one
It definitely is. It's not as contingent
on
on
Battle Shock.
the
Yeah,
opponent.
yeah, you still get to
So I
control
think
it.
at least
Buzzed. Let's put it buzzed. Yeah, let's put it buzzed. It's playable. You could go 2-1 in RTT with this.
yeah.
Yeah,
Playing on your comp into him, unlike me at the last tournament, I
yeah,
ended up
yeah.
going into
We
Renegade
could.
Raiders.
We might not be able to, but you guys can. Okay. All right. What's next? Let's go to the Aldari. They did a Harlequin's attachment. We can probably speed through this one. I don't think it's that good. Art of War seemed to think that it was really good. I, for one, I played in Drukhari prior to Reaper's Wager. Now that we only have one Reaper's Wager battle report, I've been playing a lot of Reaper's Wager off camera, and I think this is just a worse version of Reaper's Wager without Drukhari, which is the better unit. So let's just speed read through this one. It's
This one
not that
called.
one. One sec. It's not this one.
Serpent's Brood.
Serpent's Brood. Yeah.
There we go.
All right, Serpent's Brood, Boons of the Brood, Harlequins mounted and vehicle armies have sustained hits 1. Each time a Harlequins unit disembarks from a transport, it gets sustained hits 1. So it gives all your Harlequins sustained hits 1s on the turn they disembark from the transport. So it's kind of like, for Harlequins, a worse version of Sky Splinter for Drukhari, where they get Lance here. You get sustain hits 1, although it does give Harlequin shooting sustain hits 1, which is nice because they have like Haywire cannons essentially. So you're getting sustained Haywire cannons and shooting, and then also sustained melee. Also notably, the Harlequin jet bikes have 4. They come in units of 2. They have 4 shots of Haywire and then 8 attacks at 6/2/2, so they get to benefit in both phases. The bad part about this is that we'll get to the MFM. Harlequins are egregiously overpriced for their damage output and their livability. They're the most overpriced units in Eldari, and they're extremely overpriced to ally with Drukhari. That's why no one really takes anything in Reaper's Wager except for the Solitaire, because Drukhari units are better and cheaper than Harlequin units, period. And they got no points cuts as a part of the attachment. There was some projection that they're doing a new Harlequin attachment. Of course they'll do the points cuts that they need. No. 0 points changes for Harlequins. And I don't think that sustained hits and all the other shit here does enough. But there is some cool stuff. Let's go over and see what they can do. So you're getting sustained hits 1.
Let's ask this before we go to the
Yeah.
enhancements. What about these traveling players' abilities down here?
So
where
this is
troops get
just
battle line?
this is just troops are get battle line in our OC2, so you can bring 5 of them. They're your battle line unit. Besides that, in normal Eldari, they're not a battle line unit. And then Death Jester, Shadow Seer, and Troop Master. While they're not epic heroes, they have rules that say you can only bring 1 of them normally. In this detachment, you can take 3 of them just like they're normal characters.
Got it. All right.
Then we've got Key of
I'm gonna read the
Ghosts.
first-
Key of Ghosts enhancement. Harlequin models only. Models in the bearer units have Scout 6 ability. It's nice. It's fine. This is literally an enhancement that exists in Reaper's Wager and can be put on an Archon and Incubi. Here, you can put it on a Troop Master and his troop inside of their version of a Venom. You can have a scouting like Harlequin Venom. That's fine. Weaver's Wail, a Troop Master only, +3 strength, +1 attack to the bearer's melee weapons. Now that is kind of spicy. He has Dev Wounds on this. I think this gets him up to strength 6 or 7. And +3 strength. Look at him up to I think it's strength 4. So this gets him to strength 7 and +1 attack, strength 6. I think it's 6 attacks, and he's got sustained hits on that. So this is kind of an auto include if you're going to do this on a Troop Master for sure to increase his damage output. Fanged Leer, a Death Jester, which is one of the worst, most overpriced lone ops in the game, gets to use 2 of his abilities instead of 3. So his Shrieker cannon, let me tell you guys, this guy, I'll tell you what this guy does, and you tell me how many points you think he costs. He's a lone op. He has Infiltrate. Toughness 3, 4 wounds, 4 pinfall, no base save. He has 3 shots at Strength 6, AP 2, Damage 2 that he either gets to pick Sustain hits 3. It's 3 shots at 622. He gets to pick Sustain hits 3, Precision, or Ignore cover on them. And this lets him pick 2 of those 3 instead of all 3 every time he shoots. And 1 unit he hits, as long as it's not a monster or vehicle, has to take a battle shock test at -1. How much do you think that unit costs, Imperial IP Agent? 3 shots.
120.
120. Okay. Lord
I was
Virulence.
going to get about 85.
85.
90.
He is 90 points. He is 90 points. So he's trash. It's 3 fucking shots. It's 3 shots, and he's just a little lone op guy. And, you know, you get sustain hits 3, great. You probably don't roll a 6. And then you probably don't kill anything because it's strength 6 to AP 2 damage 2. This enhancement, I think, is actually priced at 20 or 25 points, making him 150, 120 points. And we'll look at that when the MFN comes up. But I still don't think this is good enough to take a Death Jester. I think he's not worth the points at all. And the Solitaire is also lone op, and he's better than this guy. So you just take the lone op, you don't need 2 Solitaires. Or you just take the Solitaire, you don't need 2 lone ops. All right, go ahead and read the next one, Imperial IP Agent.
Feigned Leer. So we just did that one.
Yep.
Shedskin Raiment. So Shadow Sigmar only after both players have destroyed their armies, deployed. Select up to 3 Harlequins from a unit. Redeploy them. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So you
Redeploy is nice.
Yeah,
the bad thing about this is this detachment is all about having your infantry hop out of transports, right? And what a Shadow Steer does is it gives a troop lone op 18. So he doesn't really synergize with the detachment because it doesn't give the transport lone op 18. But redeploy is very powerful. I think the best use of this might just be a fucking Shadow Steer chilling by himself somewhere with his enhancement just to exist. He's kind of cheap, he's like 60 points. So if you want to redeploy, you can get it. Yeah.
Moving on to our stratagems. I can start out here. Fangs of the Brood. In the start of the fight phase, 1 troop unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, when your unit's Dance of the Death ability, you can select 3 of the abilities from your unit to gain instead of 1.
So
I don't know those abilities.
I'll tell you. So this stratagem is actually fire, right? So a troop is like 5, 7, fucking 9, or like 15 players, right? They have weird numbers, but they essentially have power swords that are like strength 4, AP 2, damage 1, I think. And then the lead player might have a strength 5 thing, and then they get attached to that troop master at the top who has the extra strength, extra attacks thing. He gets +3 strength and all that, and he has dev wounds on his blade, right? Their 3 abilities are reroll hit rolls of 1, reroll wound rolls of 1, or reroll their saving throws of 1, I think, or being -1 to hit or something. So instead of just picking one of those, this stratagem lets you pick all 3, so you're going in with a souped-up unit that has the character that has that enhancement, and you're getting to sustain hits from the detachment. You're getting to reroll your hit rolls and wound rolls when normally you'd only reroll one of those, and you're getting to be -1 to hit back, or have a little bit, or reroll your saves back or something. So that's good, right? But I'll caveat with this: this same unit that you can take at Drakari Reaper's Wager is rerolling hit rolls and wound rolls of 1 for 0 CP as part of the detachment rule already. And they can just pick their saving throw as their 1 ability and it saves you a CP. Or that you spend the CP there for sustain hits. So let's keep reading. What's happening next?
All right, Venomous Wrath. 1 Harlequin vehicle from your army has not been selected to shoot this phase. Till the end of the phase, if it's not within engagement range of enemy units, it can make a reactive move or a normal move of 6 inches. So it's move, shoot, move is what it looks like here.
Yep.
Oh, and declare a charge after that. Oh, not declare a charge.
Yeah, just normal move, shoot, move. It's okay. Is it limited to? No, it's vehicles, right? So that's good. Harlequin's vehicle. Yeah, so they have Void Reavers, I think they're called, which are they have, I think, 4 shots of Haywire or 2 shots of a strength 14, like last cannon type beat, right? And those boys are lone op 18 inches. So this is nice to shoot and then scoop back so you can maintain that lone op for next turn or scoop behind a building. This stratagem I actually do think is really nice, given that those boats have that ability. But those boats are still too expensive. They're like 125, 130 points for 4 shots of haywire.
Fair.
When Scourge for Drukhari are 130 points, they're 5 points more than this boat for 8 shots of haywire that can reroll all hit rolls if you want to, and also hide. Just you get to scoot 6 as a part of the data sheet instead of having to spend a stratagem on it. So we'll keep reading.
Yeah, and Scourge are the bane of my existence. So there's that.
Indeed.
All right, someone want to take over?
Pre-live
You got
agent.
striking stride. Starts with charge phase. When Harlequin's unit until the end of the phase, it's able to advance and charge.
All right, advance and charge. We love it. It's good. What's next?
Love it. Let's see it. Next one is Weaver's Coil. So Harlequin's mounted. That's eligible to fight. If it's not within engagement range, you can make a normal move. Otherwise, you can make a fallback move.
Okay, yeah. So this is like that Renegade Raiders enhancement. At the end of the fight phase, you can move a mounted unit only, which is just Skyweaver 6 inches. I don't know if that's good. It's honestly worse than Renegade Raiders because it's on a mounted unit, so you can't go through a wall and then 1 inch that wall, right? So it's kind of crap, to be honest. Weaving Stride.
You got Weaver.
Giving Chaos Bikes an opportunity again, so I like that.
Yeah. Weaving Stride. Your opponent's movement phase just after an enemy unit ends a movement. You get a 6-inch reactive move on a Harlequin's infantry unit. And you got Skyward Lunge, Harlequin's vehicle. If your unit, what does that one say? I can't read it. Go into strategic reserve. So that's good. You can place a vehicle or mounted unit into strategic reserve. That would start on the battlefield. Notably, though, no Harlequin's vehicles or mounted units have deep strikes, so they're coming back in off the board edge.
Yeah. So,
it's kind of ass. It's ass. It's worse. It's worse Reaper's Wager with worse units doing a lot of the same things. And I'm going to leave this one, for me, it's in sober. I don't think it's playable. I don't think you're going to win any games doing it. I don't think
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Tipsy sober. I mean, I don't think you're going to win any, but I think it's less contingent on battle shocks. But I've also never seen a Harlequin player in a tournament, so.
The units are just worse. Yeah. I mean, that one unit of Warp Talon just existing with the Chaos Lord, in my opinion, makes that Chaos detachment way better than this Harlequin detachment. I think Harlequins at their current points toss are a non-starter, and I think even if Harlequins got points cuts, like literally running an all Harlequins build in Reaper's Wager might be better than this because it just gives you hit rolls and wound rolls of 1, and then like you have access to Drukhari, and then you get to like pop sustained and lethals at will with a stratagem. You still get an advance and charge. You get a fight on death strat. I think as a Harlequin, like Reaper's Wager is a mono like Drukhari army that allies a solitaire. But if Harlequins were pointed appropriately, it could be a mono Harlequin army that allies like Malice and Incubi, right? Or allies some Mandrakes. So I think in a world where they fix Harlequin's points, this detachment is still worse than Reaper's Wager for playing Harlequins, in my opinion.
Fair. I'll agree with sober then. We can keep it down there.
I think I'd put it sober. If anyone that's playing, if any of you tens of Harlequins players out there ever see this live stream and want to disagree with us, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let's see. And this is another one I haven't seen, the Emperor's Children list here.
Yes.
You know the name of this one?
This one's called... No, this one's called... Oh, this is Court of Phoenician? Okay, yeah. There's some words in here that are pretty interestingly fit. We'll talk about them when they come up. There's some interesting words they put in here.
So I want to read the detachment, or you want me to?
You can go ahead and read it.
All right. So your Emperor's Children have these abilities. Sensational performance. Each time this unit is selected to fight, if this unit has made a charge move this turn, it can use this ability. If it does until the end of the phase, it can. The unit cannot target a unit that was within engagement range of it at the start of the... Cannot target what?
So their whole thing is that, and this is in one of the other attachments too, if you can fall back and charge, but you can't charge the unit you fell back from, is what they're saying.
Okay.
You have to...
unit cannot target a unit that was the target of another unit's charge. Okay. And then improve strength and armor penetration. They're just making it complicated for no reason there.
Yeah, so but that's like an Emperor's Children thing. It's like they're getting bored of like toying with these guys and then moving on to the next thing is kind of the idea behind it. But yeah, essentially you can advance in charge, you can fall back in charge, but there's hoops, and you get to improve your strength and AP by one of your melee weapons, which is actually great because even your close combat weapons then on guys on like fucking noise marines then become like strength 5 AP 1, which exists, right? And then like your basic sword guys, I think, start at AP 2 damage 1, are now AP strength 5, strength 4, or go from strength 4 AP 2 damage 1 to strength 5 AP 3 damage 1. So that isn't just a nice flat little buff there, right?
Yes, and they looks like they also have a -1 CP cost for Fulgrim with 2 enhancements here, which
2
we can get to
stratagems.
in a moment.
Yeah, so
Strat-
Fulgrim gets to use, one of them is a 2 CP stratagem he gets to use for 1 stratagem, 1 CP, and one of them is a 1 CP stratagem he gets to use for free. And you guess what that stratagem says?
Should we look at that now?
No. I want you guys guess. It Fulgrim. You know the model Fulgrim. What would he like to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
Imperial Light Vision.
Roll.
No.
Like reroll the poison.
Think about the way the model looks. What would he like to do?
He's a snake.
He's a snake.
He can move over things.
He can move over things. There you go. It lets Fulgrim move through walls for free. There you go.
There we go. All right, in the enhancements here, I'll let y'all take it from here.
You got Tears of the Phoenix. So Emperor's Children model only. Every time you make a melee attack, you can ignore modifiers. That's cool. Uses
Yeah.
good.
Ignore. What does it say? Does it limit the modifiers or no?
Ignore weapon skill or any and
Or
all
wound roll.
modifiers of the hit and wound roll.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just hit and wound. It doesn't ignore AP modifiers, which would be actually pretty good. So it's okay. It's not great.
You got 1 for Lore Exultant. Add 1 to the move. Okay. And he can be attached to Flawless Blades.
So
That's
this is neat, and it's actually pretty good because Flawless Blades have a rule where they get to wound anything on 3-ups, but if they don't kill it, they like lose a model, right? The wording of that rule does not limit like an attached character from benefiting from it. So you get a Lord Exultant who has like a once per game Super Saiyan where I think he gets like 9 or 12 attacks, just that gets to benefit from the ability wound anything in the game on 3-ups.
Yep.
So that's pretty nice. He doesn't really do so much for them as like they do for him, and then he has a lot of attacks. So that it is pretty cool. I don't know if it's worth it, but it is pretty cool.
All right, the next one, starter fight phase. You can make him battle shock.
Yep. Make him battle shock. -1.
And then for Demon Prince, add 1 to strength and attacks.
That
Cool.
is good because the Demon Princes are good anyway. You can do this on a Winged Demon Prince. I think it brings the Winged Demon Prince's strength up to strength 10, which is a great breakpoint. So I think this one with the Demon Prince strength and attack is like the one that's like actually like an auto take because you're doing the Winged Demon Princes anyways. Although I think they got points nerfed. We'll show that in a sec. And the one for the Lord Exalted joining the Flawless Blades is interesting. It makes the Flawless Blades more interesting. But I don't know if you take that one, but the other two I think you definitely just don't take.
So I will say, Winged Demon Prince, I've never been a fan with its abilities, but it increases its ranged weapon to strength 6, only increases its melee strike to strength 9, sweep to strength 7. So
No, but the Wing Prince for Emperor's Children does impact mortals.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's the same for my CSM then.
Well,
And
he does impact mortals based on how many wounds he has remaining. Your CSM does that?
not on wounds remaining, it's just a maximum of 6.
For what? How do you roll it on CSM?
It's just a roll 1d6 on a 4-up, it suffers a mortal up to a maximum of 6 for the model's remaining wounds. So yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's the same thing. I mean, that's good, dude. That's freaking good. You get it is good. Maybe you should consider him. That's like the main reason that.
He's like extra points cost there, and I honestly think the -1 stratagem costs, the cover, things like that, I think are better on the foot one.
Yeah, and for Emperor's Children, he has been in the meta, but I think he got major points nerfed, which we'll talk about when we go to the MFM. Going into the stratagems. Continuous Disregard is a -1 to wound. So you could have -1 to wound. I don't know, is it strength? Yeah, strength greater than toughness -1 to wound. Not equal or greater than, so it can't be equal to. Strength greater than toughness -1 to wound, 1 CP, it's fine. Prideful superiority, 2 CP. What does that one say? Emperor's Children unit from your army that is selected to fight until the end of the phase. Each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets a character unit, reroll the hit roll and the wound roll. So this one, reroll all. It's the one Fulgrim can use for -1 CP. So it talks 1 for CP for him, 2 CP for anyone else. Reroll all hit and wound rolls against character units is pretty fucking spicy on Fulgrim. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So it is. This whole attachment is kind of about them trying to make Fulgrim playable, which is nice. You know, you want to play with the awesome Primarch model. Does it make him playable enough? Debatable. Is it better than Coterie? Definitely not. But 1 CP for Fulgrim rerolling all hit and wound rolls is pretty sick. And even 2 CP on anything else doing it it's probably worth it at some point. Sinuous Breach, this is the 1 CP one that lets Fulgrim move through walls. He gets to do it for free. He needs to. It can also let you move, I guess, a Land Raider through a wall for 1 CP. So that's something. Move a Noise Marines and a Rhino through a wall for 1 CP. Anything can use it.
It says Demon, though. I don't think
Demon? It's only Demon? It can't be Land Raider then. So yeah, it's only... And what does it say? Does it say Legion of Excess as well, or no? Just Emperor's Children?
Just Emperor's Children.
That blows. So it doesn't work on like Shalaxi or like allied Slanesh demons like Keeper of Secrets. It only works on Fulgrim and the Demon Princes. So it literally only works on Fulgrim. That's lame. They could have made it. They could have made this attachment a little more interesting by allowing it to work on the vehicles as well, I think, and Mauler Fiends and shit like that. Mauler Fiends are demons.
Yeah, Demon Engine. Yeah.
Yeah. So this will work on a Mauler Fiend at least. I guess that's something. Close quarter excruciation, shooting phase. It's within 12 plus 1 AP. Fine. They're not. Oh, actually, that is good on Noise Marines, because Noise Marines ignore cover. It makes the Blast Matters AP2 up to AP3 ignore cover, and the Little Guns AP1 up to AP2 ignore cover. That's actually a really good strategy for Noise Marines. Then Euphoric Inspiration, Emperor's Children Demon unit from your army in your charge phase. Gets a 6-inch aura of reroll charges. That's a weird one to try to make work, but it's something, right? Maybe your Demon Prince.
Auras are tough, you know. It's very rare that you're that clumped up, in my opinion. Especially with what
especially in the charge phase, like a 6-inch aura in the charge phase, like especially in an army where there's like loops around, like you can't charge the same unit that you just left and all this kind of shit, right? Like. It kind of makes it weird. And then the last one, Catalytic Stimulus. What does this one say? Is this a reactive move? Or no, Emperor's Children that died as a result of the attacks. What does it let him do?
This is a stimulus move, so
it's a blood surge. Blood surge.
Move. Yep.
You get to blood surge, and this is just any Emperor's Children unit, and it's just lose a wound. So you could blood surge with Fulgrim, who has fights first, or blood surge with Lucius, who has fights first. So that's actually pretty good. So it makes you, it's like, especially Lucius, I think, is a low op with fights first. So it's like, oh, you finally gotten within to range of shooting my low op, but did you stay outside of my fucking catalytic stimulus range, you know? So that's nice.
The issue I see here with this one, though, is it's one of the ones that causes you to roll a d6. So
yeah, it's flat d6, right? Yeah, it could be a 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of times where like that blood surge rolls a 1, so.
And Khorne Berserkers get a +3 now, right? So it's like they get up to an 8 or some shit. Yeah. So since the Codex, they have like a plus now. But yeah, this one is just a straight d6, so it is risky. And then and they can just, if it's a shooting unit, they can just stand 7 inches from you and do it. You don't have to stick on death like World Leaders do. All in all, this attachment, it's fun that they let Fulgrim move through walls and give him a cool, fun shit to use. Where it's like, I'm Fulgrim, I'm everywhere, I'm Fulgrim. But it's not as good, in my opinion, as Covenant Coterie, which is like the one where you pledge kill points, and then by the end of the game, all your units have lethal sustains, crits on 5s, dev wounds, because you've been like gaining these buffs throughout the game. I don't see it having competitive play over Coterie, and honestly, it might not even be as good as the mechanized one that already no one's playing because Coterie exists. Is it better than the Night Lords one? Yes, I think it's probably better than the Night Lords one. But maybe not. Do we think it's better than the Night Lords one? That's the question. It's definitely worse than the Blood Angels one.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't put it above Tipsy. I think it has more playability just with the Primarch. Love to see the Primarch. I would put it at tipsy at most. I don't know if we can. I might put it above the Battle
It's
Shock one.
I agree it would be tipsy, and I agree that it's definitely better than Harlequins, but whether or not it's better than Chaos Space Marines, I honestly don't know because
I think the just detachment ability itself is just not the best. Improved strength and
Strength
armor
and AP is
penetration.
good. It's good. Strength and
But
AP is good.
yeah, and from what I understand, it's just like when you go into something. I don't know. I think I don't face just straight up Emperor's Children. I think it's viable. I would put it above forcing Battle Shocks because this doesn't require the opponent to do something. You just get that ability. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
my argument. I don't like banking on the opponent to roll poorly. I've seen how that goes. If you're banking on Battle Shocks, you're banking on the wrong thing. Plenty of people will argue that they like the new Night Lords. I just,
I
you
think
know,
I think
when you
if you get like 100 reps of new Night Lords, there's actually some really good like play you can do with it. And like you could like someone that's like goes like full tism about the Night Lords attachment could like win like a tournament with it, right? I don't know if anyone can win a tournament with this Fulgrim detachment, but I do think that it's just like easier to like walk up to a table and be like, here's my Fulgrim, he can move through walls, he can reroll hits and wound rolls, what are you gonna do about it? You know, so I would for an experienced player, I might even say CFSim's better, but I'm okay with leaving it better at Tipsy. I think we have one vote one way, one vote the other. Imperial IP agent break the tie.
Yeah, I agree. I believe it's better than the Night Lords one, but I don't think it's as good as the Blade Angels. I think it's cool though. You get Fulgrim being really badass and kind of being like the center stage, like he'd want to be. So
That's right.
then in that way.
He would
So
definitely want to be the star of the show, and so far he's been
mhm.
unplayable for his entire existence. So that'll bring.
Dude, they put him on
He's a
big
very cool
stake,
model.
dude.
Yeah,
Big stake.
they made like these dope. They made like an amazing like best model they've ever made, and then just gave it like the shittest rules possible. And also, it's so uh, ridiculously sized, and they didn't give it a move through walls until now. So,
Yeah.
all right, Space Wolves, the last one. So there's rumors. I don't know if you guys have heard these rumors that the big Christmas reveal is gonna be Lehman Russ is back. Have you guys heard about that?
Oh, for real? That's
Yeah, he's gonna
crazy.
be the next Primarch gonna be revealed. How do we feel about that?
That'd be really fun.
Do you think it'd be fun? Would it make you want to play Space Wolves if Lehman Russ comes back?
Oh no, I mean, well, he's like Dark Angel's like biggest rival, so
Yeah,
him
they
and
got beef.
Alliance.
There would have to be a book about
Yeah,
them having beef. Yeah,
imagine.
but
Yeah.
we'll see. That their inclusion here kind of makes me feel like there might be some smoke to that fire, or fire that smoke. But it is the Saga of the Great Wolf. This is actually probably, in my opinion, maybe not the best way to play Space Wolves because that might still be like Stormlancer Gladius. But this is the best Space Wolves detachment. It's better than any of their Codex detachments, in my opinion. And with that, I'll let you guys just kind of read through it and tell us what you think.
Sure, Neil, you want to take the floor?
Yeah, so you got Master of the Wolves. So, okay. You select one of the hunting packs.
Yeah, they're like
All
tactics. These hunting
adeptus.
packs. They essentially get like these instead of doctrines. They can pick from these hunting packs.
Okay, so yeah, you can reroll advance and charge. That's good. Add one to the hit roll of a range attack, or you get lethal and sustained. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
That's pretty good
Then you have
because you know there's like a turn where you approach and maybe you have like vindicators and shit and you want to reroll hit rolls of one or whatever, right? And then you have like a two kind of go turn ones where you increase attacks or like let yourself reroll advance on a few units that can advance and charge and stuff like that. So it is nice.
like that.
Plus,
Then
if
if you
you bring in
yeah,
Logan Grimnar, you can reuse one.
Yeah. So then you get 4 turns of stratagem. So really you're just not using one in turn one, and then you get to use the rest. Use one the rest of the way.
that's cool. For the enhancements, you have Grimnar's Mark. So for a Terminator Captain, let's see, Rapid or Heroic for free, even if you already
That's
used
good.
it. So
That's
that's
good. Oh, even if
I
you
like
already use it, is a very nice inclusion. All that, right? Whoa.
Yeah.
Because you know what that means. That means you can have 2 Terminator captains and rapid for free with both of them because one of them has rights of battle, baby.
Yep.
Ooh.
Two.
And I don't know if this has changed anything. They can be attached to the Wolfguard Terminators now. I think it was just a name character that could do that.
Okay, so never mind. So if it, never mind. Oh, but you can take as Space Wolves, you can take normal Terminators with a captain. So you take normal Terminators with a captain, and you can take this captain that's enhanced with Wolfguard Terminators, and you can rapid ingress both units in turn 2. I mean, that's going to be a lot of points, obviously, but it's something that I actually haven't seen before as a double rapid ingress of this magnitude. A double rapid ingress of with like units that are this important potentially. Being able to do it turn 2, it could catch a lot of opponents off guard if they're not ready for it. That's for sure. What do you guys think about that? How would you counter their ability to rapid ingress two units in a single turn?
I feel like you got to use it early. That's my only thing. If you're waiting until turn 3, it's not going to happen.
It's too late. Yeah, it's probably too late. So yeah, I mean,
even turn 2, if they screen well, plenty of people at tournaments screen well. So it's just if you can fit them in somewhere.
If you can, I mean, if both of these units are like imagine like you could do this for like 2 assault terminators with storm shields, right? And you could rapid ingress them both in the same spot, and then like be like, you don't have enough over here to kill both of these, and then I'm gonna flip your objective. That's expensive. And obviously, if they give you a good spot, you can actually put them in spots where they can't die. But even if they don't give you a good spot, there's like some like interesting things you can do with this to put pressure on your opponent with this. I actually think this is kind of unique in Warhammer right now, which is rare to say that you see something in a new detachment that you haven't seen before. But I actually haven't seen this before, so that's cool.
It's fair.
Yep.
All right. The Howl Maul. And this is a Wolf Priest model only. At the start of the fight phase, you can select one enemy unit within 6 inches of the bearer, and that unit must take a battle shot.
It's our favorite. It's our favorite. Battle shock. What's next?
Battle shock's relevant again.
What's next? Fucking battle shock. I love how all this stuff is battle shock at -1, but Incubi doesn't give you a -1 for battle shock. Let's keep reading.
All right, some butthurt Jakari players in the chat.
It's the Storm. It's a redeploy.
3-unit redeploy. Yeah, 3-unit redeploy is great. Redeploy is awesome, and this, unlike your little stratagem that said Blood Angels units only can sticky objectives. This lets you redeploy W Stars units, so you can redeploy your infiltrators, you can redeploy your scouts. This lets you and I think this probably exists in a few other Space Marine detachments, like the Raven Guard one, but it lets you, do the big infiltrate block across the middle if you deploy first and then redeploy them later. So it's a good tool to have.
Scouts foretelling. Wolfguard battle leader gets Lance.
Lance is great. If you're gonna get one like keyword, I think Lance is the best one. So yeah.
And it's for the whole unit, it's not just to the bearer, so that's always good to see.
Yeah, that's gonna be an auto take if you're taking a Wolfguard battle leader at all.
Alright, the foe foreseen. Your opponent's shooting phase of fight phase.
Yeah. This is weird. This is actually weird, but they didn't. But this is the only Space Marine attachment I think where they didn't call it Armor of Contempt.
Yeah.
So we finally get one without Armor of Contempt, but what's that? It's fucking armor. here's Armor of Contempt, but we're not gonna call it Armor of Contempt because Space Wolves. We love Space Wolves extra, so they get a cool name. What's next?
This one's until the end of the phase, so it's.
No, it still falls under the errata because it's a catch-all for anything with a minus AP ability.
Oh,
so it's still gonna be for an activation, I think. Yeah.
Lame.
Then we got Grimnar's command. I know you start from your army. That gives in your command phase gets to pick a different hunting pack. So this is your adaptive tactics for the hunting packs. Fenrisian ferocity. What's this one? Movement phase or your charge phase? What does it let him do? I can't read that.
He can make a normal move after the charge.
Huh? Normal move after the charge?
Oh, I'm sorry. Each time a model in your unit makes a normal, advance, fall back, or charge move, it can move horizontally through models. So
okay, charge through models.
Yeah,
help you get and terrain. So yeah, it's for your wolf rider stuff to charge or move through walls and not get move blocked and jailed and shit. That's a nice tool to have.
It also allows them to move within engagement range. They just can't end within engagement
Yeah.
range.
So it lets
yeah.
it lets your wolves like jump over shit when they're advancing and charging, essentially, which is nice. I don't think they have that in other detachments. What else we got?
I've never seen it allow you to go within engagement but end without. So
No,
that's neat.
that's usually included in the thing. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Big Mech does.
Yeah.
In a orcs.
Okay.
Unrelenting hunters. What do we get? Just fall back in charge.
Yep.
Yep. Eye of the pack. What's that? Shooting phase.
Add one.
+1 to wound and shooting. I mean, fucking. What's that? Are those stars units?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Army.
That's a Vindicator wounding a Rogodorn on 2s.
Yep. Also, before we go too far past it, I noticed on the Unrelenting Hunters, that is an advance charge with you advance or fall back. It's not just one or
Okay.
the
So
other.
see, they only get to use it on one unit here. They only get to use it on one unit here.
Sure.
And then we got Battle Instincts. Your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has shot, but they get advance and charge on some units. I'm pretty sure as part of the data sheet. A Space Wolves unit from your army that has been selected as the target of one or more attacks can make a normal move of D6 after being shot. So that one's, it's D6 inches. If you're in front of a wall, you can go behind the wall. Besides that, it's not worth it. But all in all, I mean, it lets you, this attachment lets you, in a tactical manner, choose to have your entire army reroll advance rolls and charges. So you get a turn, your go turn as a melee army of everyone rerolling the charge. You can have, I think it was what, +1 strength or attack for the, what's the attack one? It's like +1 in the detachment roll of the sagas. Yeah.
It's add
Plus
one
one.
to the hit roll on range.
Add 1 to the hit roll for range. So like a shooting turn, you're adding 1 hit roll for your support pieces. Reroll all the advanced
add one to
rolls.
the hit roll plus the 1 to the wound.
Yeah. And then plus the 1 to the wound for the CP. So you're hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s into a tank with a Vindicator. And then you just have it's a good toolkit. It's a good toolkit for a melee army, and it has stuff that buffs the fire support, whether you be predators or Vindicators, whatever you do for the shooting. I think it's buzzed. I think it's worse than Blood Angels, but it's buzzed. I don't know. What do you think it's worse than Blood Angels?
I think it might be better. I'm also in my mind. I'm comparing it to other detachments with Blood Angels. So
Imperial IP agent, what do you think as a Space Marine
I
player
think
yourself?
It's still buzzed, but better than the Blood Angels.
You think it's better than Blood Angels one?
It's got more
Yeah, we can put it better.
toolkits.
I don't know. I like the Blood. Maybe I just think Death Companies are cooler than Space Wolves because Space Wolves and Grey Knights got beefs. But yeah, we can put it there. We can put it there for sure.
I think there's just more utility in there. I like the stratagems more. I like the enhancements more. It's more variability, more usage there. You're kind of constrained with the Blood Angels detachment, so I vote higher and buzzed.
Yep. Yeah, the Blood Angels attachment has a lot of keywords like stuff that's only Death Company and stuff that's only Blood Angels unit, and this is just mostly a WC Star unit. And the fucking double rapid ingress thing's really cool. I forgot about that. So I'm okay with it being higher and buzzed. Now this list is in the correct order in my opinion. Except I would personally maybe put Night Lords above the Emperor's Children, just because I don't think anyone is going to play this Emperor's Children attachment, and I think there are going to be 2 or 3 people that do really well with this Night Lords attachment. But besides that, do we want to change anything? Do you guys think Astra Militarum is hammered in comparison to these? It's a whole 2 categories above, or what do you think?
I don't know if I have the expertise to make that decision there. I think it's solid, but I feel like it's banking on some things that are not included in other meta lists. I don't think it's going to change the meta with Astra Militarum enough to be hammered.
I think it will. And here's let me make my case, right? The meta of Astra Militarum is that you have a Scout Sentinel or 2, you have Roadorn tank commanders because the Lehman Russ tank commanders suck, and then you have like Acadian Brick with 20 Acadians and Ursula Creed that's like your command nest. And some like small, like little, you have some Lehman Russes and you have some MSU, like just like trash units to like throw OC on things, right? What this lets you do is it allows you to change your list construction entirely. Because the purpose of the Scout Sentinels is they see something and you reroll once to hit against it. This attachment just lets you reroll once to hit, period. You no longer have a need for the Scout Sentinels. You can use cheaper Scout units like Krieg Engineers if you need a Scout and free up some points, and also those guys do mortals. The 3 Roadorn tank commanders. A Rogodorn tank commander rerolls a hit roll, a wound roll, and a damage roll of 1. Or a hit roll, one hit roll, one wound roll, and 1 damage roll per activation. That's its rule. A Rogodorn gets a damage blank. That's its rule. So the damage blank, in my opinion, is definitely better. The reason you had to run Rogodorn commanders is because they got 2 orders, and Lehman Russ commanders only got 1 order. Now, Lehman Russ commanders get 2 orders and can order the Rogodorns. A Rogodorn tank commander goes from 2 orders to 3 orders, so you could do 1 less of those and just keep 1. And Lord Solar gets like 5 orders now. And, your order economy is better and allowing you to save points by downgrading some of your Rogodorn tank commanders to normal Rogodorns if you're tanking them. On top of that, I think the Bulgrin unit is an auto-include with the Commissar. That unit is 4 times 6. How many wounds is that? 24 wounds? It's 24. Yeah. It's 24 wounds at toughness 6 with a 3-up base save, a 5 or 6-up feel no pain, amazing melee, or decent melee that has access to Armor of Contempt now as well. And I think it's like an entirely new meta list that is going to change the landscape of Guard and open up a lot more flexibility for new unit creation. But that's my take on it.
I hear you. You've played Guard. You know the list composition, the list build. So I'll trust you if you want to go hammered there. I also, from what you're saying now, makes me concerned. Maybe we should get on the channel. Gotta get it out there soon because that sounds like it's gonna get nuts.
I've sold all my Guard stuff to a mixture of Matt and Neil. So I'm out of the Guardsman business, and I'm a Drukari man. We'll have to see if one of you guys can scramble us together.
The heads of the old Guard.
Yeah, no one wanted to buy the infantry, so all the heads of the Guardsmen are on the Drukari bases. We can leave it a drunk, but
that's more thematic for your Chaos Guard.
That's right.
They don't need heads.
That's right. They've been raided, and they did not have the organization. They were too busy worshiping the Chaos Gods. Let's put it Herod. I think I do not know that I would be able to beat this a good player playing this attachment. I think it's such a supercharged, easy to play version of Guard, and it gives them stuff they didn't have that before. It gives them a beefy survivable melee unit that can hurt you back. They haven't had that before. It gives their tanks Armor of Contempt. They've never had that. It lets their indirect guns actually ignore cover on demand instead of only ignoring cover if you're more than 36 inches away as a detachment rule, and fucking you have to use your detachment rule to do that shit, right? So it's really good. I think it's definitely the best of these 6 attachments, and I think it's gonna have to get nerfed before the next Dataslate, which should be in March. But that's the rankings. So here's the rankings. Here's to our new overlords, the Astra Militarum. May they reign for as little time as possible. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining us if you joined the live, everybody.
Thanks for joining us. We didn't go over the MFM and the balanced Dataslate, but this has been going on a long time. The gist is that a lot of people got some points nerfs. World Leaders got some big points nerfs. Emperor's Children got some big points nerfs, even though they don't have a good win rate. And Aldari got crushed into the ground. The Aldari in Warhost can no longer jump back into their boats effectively, is what's happened there. There's ways to do it, but you have to have been eligible to fight. You cannot. Previously, they were able to get out, shoot, and jump back in with 2 units. You cannot get out, shoot, and jump back in a boat in that detachment anymore. And they also got points nerfs. So Eldari is dead. Guard is the new king. And that's been Drunk Bolter's Grotmas review. I'll play the theme song here. No one but me can hear it because it's in my headphones. And you guys at home, Imperial IP Agent and Demon Primarch of Brilliance, start dancing like you hear it on 3, 2, 1.